How to perform 30-second sprints for boxing.
The next few questions are based off a recent video that we did on 30-second max-out sprints, where we had super welterweight professional boxer Ishmael Davis taking part in one of our infamous, brutal, but most effective conditioning sessions. If you haven't seen this video, go and check it out. Got some questions around 30-second max-out sprints. The first one, should I implement the air bike program whilst I build my aerobic base, or after I build a solid aerobic base? When we do the 30-second max-out sprints, we have to be quite strategic in where we put this as part of a 10-12 week training plan. The key thing here is to make sure that the 30-second sprints are quite early in training camp. The athlete has more energy availability, so they're able to produce more power and being able to maintain that power during 30 seconds. So that means that we're going to be depleting the athletes more, and we're going to get a greater adaptation. Also, these 30-second max-out sprints are very challenging, and you don't want the athlete to be coming in too fatigued from their boxing training, whilst also not trying to make them too fatigued for their boxing training as well. It's a difficult situation to manage when you're doing it in periods of like high sparring, training loads and everything like that. You're not going to get the most out of the workout, but also you're going to be having a negative effect on your boxing training. So we're trying to plan the 30-second max-out sprints in the earliest parts of training camp. However, the problem with this is that an athlete might come in and be relatively under-conditioned. They might not be fit enough to be ready for these 30-second max-out sprints. Again, that will affect the performance on the 30-second max-out sprints and will affect the physical adaptations that we incur. So we need to get some level of fitness before we do the 30-second max-out sprint. So if you're trying to put this into part of a training plan, that'll be building up some fitness, whether that's doing some pyramid conditioning, running, getting some central adaptations, working in the red zone, and then having some transitional work by doing some air bike pyramids, where we're doing every minute on the minute. So that can be 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and then working towards a maximum effort of 10 seconds on, 50 seconds off. This is really effective in improving fitness and unlocking that speed and power to then take into being more effective during the 30-second max-out sprints. And this process might be difficult to manage, and this is actually included in our Assault Bike Conditioning Program, which is currently a 50% discount. So if you're wanting to have more guidance around using the air bike, definitely go and check out the Assault Bike Conditioning Program by Boxing Science. The link is in the description. The next question is, during the recovery phase, do you stop activity or take active rest? So when you're doing 30-second max-out efforts, we need the body to recover as effectively as possible, because we're wanting to repeat and endure the highest amount of power that we can do. So you can see in the rest periods here with Ishmael, is that he's taking a long rest, he's getting that air into his lungs, getting oxygen to the working muscles to be able to recover effectively, so then he can hit that peak intensity again. So when doing these 30-second max-out sprints, make sure you put your feet up, have a sit down, try and get into the most comfortable position that you can. But what's really important then is to make sure that you're getting on the air bike with about 20 or 30 seconds to go, because an athlete needs to change its mindset from being really fatigued, trying to recover as best as possible, but then get themselves geared up and motivated to put in that maximum effort again. Next question is, how often should you do this as part of training week? My recommendation would be to do this either 2 or 3 times per week. Do this as part of a training program. We're wanting to get between 9 and 12 sessions in. Doing the 30-second max-out sprint protocols between 3 and 4 weeks. And if we're doing it 2 or 3 times a week, we get enough sessions there to stimulate that adaptation. The final question about 30-second max-out sprints is, would we do this after a boxing workout, or would you do it on a separate day? Now, I would do this as a separate session, not on a separate day, because it'll be quite difficult to implement. Boxers have a heavy schedule with boxing and strength conditioning and the active recovery runs as well. They need to be doing like double sessions most days. So doing it on a separate day, that's not really right. As a separate session, I would absolutely do that, because with the 30-second max out sprints, they need that maximum power, that maximum intent to be effective. So if you're doing 30-second max out sprints at the end of a boxing session, your muscles are going to be depleted, you're going to be fatigued physically and mentally. You're not going to be able to reach that maximum power to really deplete that muscle cell to then promote these physical adaptations. So my recommendation would be to do the 30-second max out sprints quite early in training camp, where you're not going to be sparring, especially not doing it on a sparring day, but doing it in the morning where you're going to be fully fueled and ready to go. You can do it in the afternoon, but I've seen lesser results doing it in the afternoon than I would do doing it in the morning. Like I say, go and check out that video, Ishmael Davis putting his body on the line for your entertainment, and also some education pieces in there as well. If you're wanting to find out more about how we structure our assault bike conditioning protocols, go and check out that assault bike conditioning program by Boxing Science. It's currently running at 50% discount. Go and check out the link in the description. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, helps the growth of the channel, and we will give you even bigger and better content in the future. And also, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video.